Let's go for this stuff. Okay, so William was making fake coins in the bars of soap to pay for the meter. He used the T to do it. He has the torn off end of an envelope that is related to the letter from Duncan Ross to Olive Green. We have this weird handprints on wall, which I don't still really understand what's going on with that quite yet. Selden died, left apparently a treasure behind, which I think is related to the room that Duncan Ross was staying in, that he was killed by. I'm pretty certain he was killed by Shamsphere. And part of me thinks it has something to do with gas, because the gas pipes are old. That might not be a thing anymore. I don't really know. You see the puddle from the coins melting. He was stealing gas. Alright. So that's where we're at. I like Saseki. I did not realize that this took place at a part where they had. Yeah, that's right. That's right. It was winter still. That makes sense. Yeah. No. Okay, I was gonna say, is Herlock Sholmes here? No, apparently not. He's not. Alright, here we go again. I don't like her. She wants to be ruthless. Journey number 5 never wants to be here. Okay. See?
Objection!
I wonder what angle they're gonna take here. Are you really? Oh my god. What? I mean, that's T. Alright, here we go again with Sham Sphere.
Objection!
Alright, so what's he gonna lie about? Because he's nothing but lie. He's a liar. This dude is a big liar. Yeah, that's a lie. We already have the proof of that. We already have the proof that this is a lie. The ring inside, there's no T-ring. So, and he even says himself, he drank all of it very quickly, because you're supposed to drink tea while it's hot. Yeah, this is easy. I mean, at the same time, couldn't you have searched his room? They totally didn't even bother checking his room for the bottle. Like, that makes no sense. They're just really bad at their job. I do declare. Alright, here we go.
Hold it!
I'm pretty certain it's gonna be a cup. Like, I'll press everything, but I don't even think I need to. Egads. I like when he gets mad, he drops the whole Old English act. I almost feel like I don't need any perks. I'm gonna save if it doesn't, like if it refuses to let me, then I know I have to press everything. But it's the cups. Like it's clearly the cups.
Objection!
Yeah. This is an easy one. That he drank his tea. While it's hot, yes. I've been saying this for a while. Alright, that's easy.
Objection!
Alright. No. No, there was no teapot left. You're just lying. Just lying. Out his ass. Fuck off, Van Sykes. Just perjury everywhere.
Objection! Objection!
Right, Spud? Try not to commit perjury. 2022 challenge. Ace Attorney, impossible. Dude, this whole case is reminding me that I spent $100 on tea. I literally spent $100 on tea on Amazon. I don't have a problem. I don't. I have a solution. Oh boy. This man had soup and salad. And unlimited breadsticks. They don't have unlimited breadsticks in Britain in the 1890s. Dude, I already hear the static. What the heck? Hold on. Hold on, please. There. Alright. You just can't just... Bro, shut the fuck up. Wow. Oh, here we go again.
Guilty!
Guilty.
Yo, what's up, Alt?
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
Alt, are you guilty? Guilty of watching this stream? I don't know. I'm out of it. What's up? You're here just in time for the second trial of Case 2. Or the second part of the trial. What is it? Date case? Down astronomically. When you're not just down bad, when you're down that bad. I saw a video from MLB Fight Club, whatever the MLB Fights Twitter is. That was a guy at the Dodgers-Padres game who got punched so hard he fell down the seats. And it was like, damn, this guy's down bad. Sorry. Me IRL. Alright, logic. Gas is too expensive. Gas is lethal. Alright, herd 2 I think is gonna be tied. This man hates his wife. I don't know what to do with him. Summation explanation, or whatever it is called. This is one of my favorite, mechanics in an Ace Attorney game. Yeah, it's a really fun mechanic. I like it a lot. Oh, absolutely. All the music in this game is pretty banging. I do wonder what an Ace Attorney 7 soundtrack will sound like. This game does a very good job of doing, like, orchestral themes. Like, sticking with the time period.
Hold it!
Alright, let's press them all. Yeah, I would agree. Oh, do I have the thing now where I can do this?
Hold it!
Alright, Juror 2 and 4 I'm gonna have to pit against. That makes me Oh my god, this lady is so awful.
Hold it!
Oh, only 1 second. Clear. Alright, better. Yo, what's up, AKL? What's up, Trifecta? Yes, I had to go with the steampunk outfit. I also went with the Japanese outfit for Herlock because he looks so spiffy and cute in it. I am. My sports teams did good. I am a Phillies fan for baseball, and they won the NLDS, so I'm excited for playoff baseball. I'm enjoying it. So I played, to give like a breakdown, I played Great Ace Attorney 1 when it came out, the fan translation. I didn't stream it. It was before I started like streaming again. And I had played Ace Attorney 1, 2, and 3 off stream as well, like when the trilogy came out a few years ago. And then on stream we did Investigations 1, Investigations 2, Apollo Justice, Dual Destiny, Spirit of Justice, and now we're here at Great Ace Attorney 2. This is the last game in my weekend series, which is called Weekend Lawyer. I really like this. I really like this series I've done. They've all been really good. I think Investigations 2 might be in my top 3 Ace Attorney games. It's just so good. I also really like that this case is a sequel from Great Ace Attorney 1. But it also makes me have to like remember the case that I played years ago at this point. Almost like over 2 years ago, probably. But I am a big fan of this series, and a lot of people have told me that Great Ace Attorney 2 might be their favorite Ace Attorney game of all time. And that's why, kind of reason I saved it for last. Because I totally could have started with it when it came out. Very much difficult on release, yeah. I will say that this game and Investigations have my 2 favorite mechanics. I love Summation, and I love the great deduction with Herlock. And Investigations has the logic chess, which is one of my favorite mechanics as well. When Edgeworth gets to like play chess in his mind against people, it's really good. It's much better than Cyclox. Much better than Cyclox. I think Cyclox are at the bottom for me in terms of mechanics. And then after that, it's probably Apollo's perception mechanic. And then Mood Matrix is also really good. I like Mood Matrix a lot. 2 was a fan translation, yeah, but it's really good. And it has some really good cases. I don't know why 2 was never brought to the West, honestly. It really should have been. Maybe we get lucky at some point, and kind of like this game, maybe they do a re-release of like Investigations 1 and they localize 2 for the first time.
Hold it!
I'm a big fan of Investigations 2, man. It really is a crime. It has I would argue it has one of my top 3 favorite character themes. This character called Justine has what sounds like a freaking JRPG final boss theme as her like character theme. Oh, I'm so excited for Ishin. Is there a release date for Ishin yet? Or is it just 2023? None of the Yakuza games are coming out this year, right? February? Oh, that's right. Does it? Oh no, does it come out the same day? I think it comes out the same day as Octopath 2. Oh, I think it does. Oh no. And now they're all like a dragon. Oh, I want to say it's the same day as Octopath 2, which is going to be... what do I play first? This year has been my poor wallet. Are you kidding me? I don't want to think about how much video game money I've spent this year. Late 2023 for Gaiden, and then 2024 for 8. Oh, I'm so excited for 8. Yeah, and Octopath 2. Oh, and don't forget Fire Emblem Engage. I don't have the money for all this. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. And this is no offense to the original voice actor for English Kiryu. And this is slight spoilers for those who have not played Like a Dragon, or what is known as Yakuza 7, Like a Dragon 7, the RPG. When they brought back, because I played it in English, right? I played the English dub. When they brought back the original VA for Kiryu, I thought it was cool. But if they're gonna give Gaiden an English dub, which I know they're not giving Ishin an English dub, and I almost feel like I don't want Gaiden to have an English dub. Because I don't know if I want to play a whole game of English Kiryu. As much as I love Kiryu, and just his Japanese VA is ingrained in me at this point. Like, that's my Kiryu. I'm not gonna lie, I almost want a mod on PC that's English dub, but replaces Kiryu with a Japanese voice actor. And I don't mean any offense at all to the English voice actor for Kiryu, but it's wild. I don't have to. I prefer to, especially when I stream, because it's a lot easier for people who maybe aren't fully attentive to the stream to be able to follow along. It did feel somewhat wrong. Don't get me wrong, I love that they brought back his English VA because that's such a respect thing to do. They could have recasted it. Like, they could have recasted and gone with a different English. They could have brought somebody else in. But I'm happy they did it for him. And that's really cool. Yeah, there's no disrespect to him at all. Like, he's awesome, and it was such a fun scene. It was really cool. But, like, part of me is like, it just felt weird. Because it's not, I played 6 games. I didn't play 0. But I've watched a bunch of people play 0. So I never actually played it myself. That's my introduction to Yakuza, was watching somebody play 0 and then going, oh man, this game looks really fun. I'm not going to play 0 because I already watched it all, but I'll play Kiwami 1 and 2 and then get into it through that. Also, never play Yakuza 3. Good lord. Yak 3, just gameplay-wise, is so hard to play. Oh, nice. That's cute. It really is Yakuza 3. Oh my god. And I played it on... I was going to play it... I think I was going to play it on hard, and then I was told that hard literally does nothing but make the enemies block more. Isn't that just Kiryu? Kinda is. After, like, Yakuza 4, it kinda is just doting Grandpa Kiryu. Actually, That's Yakuza 6. When I'm not gonna hide spoilers here. When he has the baby in Yakuza 6, it really is just doting Grandpa Kiryu. I loved Yakuza 6, dude. That was a great game. It's a shame we can't bring back, and I'm forgetting names. Who's the cop, the police officer in Yakuza 4? Because it's sad that he's never gonna... Tanamura, yeah. Tanamura. It's a shame that they're never gonna be able to bring him back because of the nature of how they do characters. And they're not going to just, like, change his entire design to fit a new actor. So we're just never gonna get Tanamura back. Which is kind of a shame, honestly. I liked his character. Oh, dude, yeah, his fight style is really fun, and Lost Judgment Snake style reminded me a lot of it, and that's kind of why I really like the Snake style in Lost Judgment. When they gave Yagami that like counter parry style. Yeah, unfortunately, we're never gonna get him back because of legal reasons. That was kind of the worry about Judgment with Yagami, was the the Japanese talent agency. And then apparently I heard that yeah, Shinada. And that's the thing with from apparently what I heard of is the talent agency for Yagami's actor. The guy, the head of it, who was very much against like a lot of the stuff, died, and that's what led to Judgment apparently being able to come to PC. Was the guy who was so adamantly against PC release for that game died? And on like one hand, I'm like, that kind of sucks that he died, but on the other hand, like, more people being able to play Judgment's really good. I'm not gonna like celebrate death. Like, it's not what I do. Like, that sucks. But also, like, better for the company? Because some of those decisions are really bad for the company? And I mean, if that's the case, then we don't have to worry about the third Judgment game, if they ever make one, not having Yagami. I will absolutely only play Judgment and Lost Judgment in English. Greg Chun is too good as Yagami. Is it Crispin Freeman? As, what's his name? Kaito. I liked it. The Kaito Files was great. I don't. And I'm gonna argue that Greg Chun deserves to be in the Trails franchise really badly. I really would like to see, yeah, Crispin Freeman. That DLC was, I really had a good time. I'm honestly very much in favor of Greg Chun for Van in Kuro, if they can do that, because. For those who don't know the Trails franchise, Kuro is the Japanese-only game at the moment that we're waiting on to be localized. But Van is essentially not a private eye, but he's kind of like a detective. And let's be honest, that fits Greg Chun to a T. Just any detective for Greg is great. Like Kaname Date from the Somnium Files. So good. So good. The other VA I've been arguing that I really want to see make an appearance in the Trails franchise is Allegra Clark. I feel like Allegra would be really good in the Trails franchise. I don't know who Allegra would play.
Oh yeah.
Excuse me.
Oh yeah. I don't know if I clipped it, but I laughed my ass off in the boss cutscene in the DLC. And then I got my ass kicked. Oh my god. It was so, I made a joke earlier that I'm like, I wonder if we ever have to fight the doctor. And then we had to fight a doctor. It was so good. I know, it's so good. He takes his shirt off and it's like, holy shit, he's ripped. What the fuck? Wait, I have to fight him? What? And he has like a mega health bar. Oh, yeah, the one in the building. Yeah, that one's really brutal. Yeah, they don't rip their shirt offs quite nearly enough in Yakuza 0. There's something like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't have it. But could you imagine, as a VTuber, having a full body model, having like just your regular design, and having an animation that raises the arm up to the shoulder, and then a transition to a shirtless model? Just the classic, like, grab the shoulder and then all of your top of your clothes are off. I would love that. I'm not gonna lie. Can you imagine? Just the classic, like, Yakuza. That's one of my favorite things about Yakuza. It doesn't. You could be wearing 8 layers of clothes on the top. If you just grab the shoulder and pull, all of it comes off. Dude, Yakuza is such a fucking good franchise. Kuze! I have a friend who I've mod for their channel, where they do this thing called Ironmon. And it's a harder version of Nuzlocke, essentially, for Pokemon. But whenever he gets to Brock's gym, he always plays Kuze's theme. And it's so good. Kuze's theme is so good. Also, the actor who plays Kuze is an ally of the LGBTQ community, and that guy is fucking awesome. When I found that out, I absolutely was floored, and I loved it. Kuze is great. Yeah. Kuze! Oh, it's amazing. Alright. I do wonder... Okay, like, my hopes for Like a Dragon 8. Don't get me wrong, I loved Like a Dragon 7. It's probably my favorite Yakuza title. I just, the idea of moving it to an JRPG was phenomenal. I played it on PS5. I played the PS5 version, I think. Or maybe, I don't remember. Either way, I played on the PS4 or 5. And my one con with the game that I hope they address in the second game, and they did it, they fixed it, the community fixed it in a mod for the PC version, was I didn't like having to go to a location to change jobs. Because I felt like that didn't let you really get a chance to kind of test out different jobs. And most RPGs that have a job system, you're most of the time able to like switch them on the fly in a menu. And it kind of sucked that you couldn't do that. You know, like I wanted, like if you wanted to experiment with the job system, you had to go to a certain place, change the job. It was just time consuming. You had to constantly go back and forth, and I didn't care for that. I would like to just do it in the menu. I mean, the idea is even you could make it like in-game, because I get the in-game thing was you were going to a job agency. But my opinion is like you could just do it where you like text in the job or like make a phone call and be like, hey, I want to pick up a job. Okay, you got it. Like, don't make me have to go back to the job agency to change. So I'm hoping they fix that in the second game. I don't mind being locked in a dungeon. That's different. But in the overworld, I absolutely should be able to just easily change it. I figured it out. I figured it out. Real quick, to get back to the game real quick. Look where the handprints are. Look what they're under. Fucking Shakespeare is blowing into the goddamn pipe. That explains everything. Oh, for those who are here, by the way, I never remember this. You guys should follow Trifecta. I'm gonna do a shout out for them because they are a fun streamer and they also play lots of fun games. And they are a Capcom, I think it's Capcom partner. And I'm all in on Capcom for a lot of stuff, so I always appreciate supporting Capcom. I just wish sometimes they would bring some old games back, man. I want Breath of Fire back. I want Breath of Fire back bad. Okay. Yeah, I'm so excited for new Street Fighter.
Hold it!
I'm very, very excited for new Street Fighter. Definitely, I'm really excited for the new characters actually in Street Fighter. Like, I love the old characters, but I'm really excited to see what the new characters do. Kappa? She was putting salt into his tea. You know, there are some things salt doesn't belong in. Tea, beer. I've had a salty beer before, and it was disgusting. Beer should never be salty. That's just the beer it was. It was a flight. So there was like 6 different kinds of beer. This little restaurant that I would go to did this thing called flights. And you would get like a small, I don't know, not 6 ounces. Maybe it was 6 ounces. You would get like 4 or 6 ounces of like a different beer. So it was kind of like a sampler. You could try all these different beers out. And one of the ones they had was like a weird pink beer that had salt in it, and it was awful. I took 1 sip and then like dumped it. It was so bad.
Hold it!
Yeah. But yeah, as far as like Capcom goes, Breath of Fire, I would love a collection. Like Konami is doing a Suikoden collection. I don't know why. And Capcom is doing a collection of the Battle Network games, which I'm super excited about. Maybe if it sells well, they'll make another Battle Network game in the future, which would be cool as hell. Because you've got people like working on kind of spiritual successors with what One Step from Eden. They're making a Duelist of Eden now, which is like a PvP version of One Step from Eden, which very much plays like that same kind of 3x3 grid, and you get the quote-unquote cards or chips, but in Eden it's like kind of like a card game. That's kind of like a deck builder. I would love it for them to bring back like a new Battle Network. Bring back Mega Man X. Where's X9? I would love a new X game. Bring back Mega Man Legends. Full on, like, reboot Legends 3. Mega Man, I love Zero. The Zero series I really liked. God, Zero 2, holy moly. Nice. The Zero games are hard as hell. They are not easy. Other Capcom games I'd like to see, but I mean, always the classic, Dino Crisis. Can you imagine if they brought back Dino Crisis? Wonder if there's any other Capcom classics. Because right now it feels like if it's not Street Fighter or Monster Hunter or Resident Evil, they kinda just don't necessarily care. And I understand. Those are their moneymakers right now. That's making them the cash. Especially Monster Hunter. Do you know how much money Monster Hunter makes? Like, it has been extremely successful. I don't think you get Resident Evil 7 Biohazard without Monster Hunter World doing as well as it did. And because of that, they now have the RE engine, which is so good that they're making the new Street Fighter in it. Like, that's wild to me that Street Fighter is being made in the Resident Evil engine. And it looks phenomenal. Also, big shout outs to Street Fighter 6's rematch being so damn fast. I've never played a game in which you can get into a rematch that quickly. Like, it's insanely fast. Yeah, I'm not a Monster Hunter guy personally. I enjoy watching people play Monster Hunter, but for me, it's not my speed. I tried World, but I didn't play with other people. I was playing solo, and I didn't find any weapons that really resonated with me, and everything kind of felt slow, and it just like was not my style. But I enjoyed watching people play it with other people. Like, I love watching collabs of Monster Hunter. I think it's really fun. we're gonna start this. What if I do this?
Objection!
I mean, they are at odds with each other, but... No, not that. What if I pit him and him together?
Objection!
No. Okay. I gotta remember, before World, Capcom was, like, really struggling.
Hold it!
Like, there was a time where it was, like, a lot of people had been calling them Crapcom for, like, a good reason. And I feel like now, they've really stepped up their game. Even though I'm probably not going to check out that dinosaur game, it does look like it could be really stupid fun. Also, is that game being made by the people who made Lost Planet? Does anybody remember Lost Planet? Remember that game? I played the first one, like, way back on the 360. But I definitely get a feeling of Lost Planet from that dinosaur game. Was it Exoprimal? It definitely looks like a Lost Planet successor, right? Like, I'm not crazy on that. Like Dinosaur EDF? Oh my god, Earth Defense Force? That's a name I haven't heard in a while. I'm like, I'm not gonna play it. It just doesn't look like my kind of game. But I can see it being, a super fun game. Oh wait, am I supposed to? Wait, maybe. I'm supposed to press this. Okay, so do I get anything from that?
Hold it!
Okay, can anybody else corroborate this for me? Is her whole getup supposed to be like a bee, like a bee queen, like a queen bee with like the brown and yellow, and the umbrella having the pointy end like a stinger? Is that like, I'm totally supposed to be seeing a bee here, right? Okay, that's the whole feeling I've been getting. Okay. My question gets immediately answered every fucking time I ask it by the game. They immediately hit me with a pun to be like, yeah, no, that's exactly it. She's really buzzing now. God, I'm loving this. Capitalism, baby. It's like skimmers. I'm gonna give you guys a heads up. Whenever you use your card at any shop you go to, whether you're getting gas, at the convenience store, at the supermarket, always check the slot you slide your card into for skimmers. They try to steal your shit. And it happens a lot. If you ever see any kind of device whatsoever attached to it, do not put your card into it. Like, if you notice if it looks out of place or out of the ordinary, they could be skimming your card. I spent like 8 years in retail, so it used to be something we had to do all the time, is check for skimmers at the end of the night for like people putting like devices on card readers. Just a little heads up from me to you. Okay, I'll play the music. Okay. Oh, if nothing else passed. There's no. Okay, maybe if I pit him against him.
Objection!
Okay, it's these two. What is happening with this guy? Dude, all of the music in this game bags. It really does. Wait. Are gas pipes tasty? I don't know. I don't put my mouth on gas pipes. That's a burn. Holy shit. That's a stinger. Hello. Hey, get it? Because she's a bee. I also really appreciate the act being dropped when he gets mad.
Objection!
Oh, I said this yesterday, and I'll show you when I get to the history. They, from my understanding, whenever Sykes here says Nipponese, he's absolutely where the fan translation used a certain word that I won't say. But I can clearly tell where the localization happened, and I'm grateful they did it. Because as much as I like the fan translation, it used that word a little too much. And I understand why it did, because it's not an official localization, and it is in line with the times, I guess. But there was a certain word that they used a lot that I'm glad I didn't stream it.
Objection!
That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah. I mean, it's the context of the game is very important, and its racist overtones. of the characters because, I mean, it is the late 1800s. There's a lot of British supremacy happening here. And yeah. Oh, am I finally actually using this photograph now?
Take that!
Look at this photograph. Every time it makes me laugh. This is how early in this it is. It's like we're still trying to figure out whether we should permit fingerprints as evidence yet. Black magic. It's like a black light, and I wouldn't want to stay in this hotel room. How did he get that all over his hands and then all over the walls? Man. Right, but yep, the gas lamp. This is this has been a really solid case too. Normally for me, like case ones are almost always kind of like okay, with the exception of Apollo Justice. Apollo Justice's case one is freaking phenomenal. And then case two is like hit or miss. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not so good. This has been a good one. I always feel like case 2s are hit or miss. Like case 2 of Apollo Justice was okay. There was too many panties. There was too much magic panties in case 2 of Apollo Justice, in my opinion. For as good as case 1 of Apollo Justice is, case 2 is a letdown. Also, Waki was a terrible character.
Objection!
I wonder. I don't know what their plans are, but I have been enjoying Sean, Sonic Mega, Sean Chiplock. Their live dub has been really fun to tune into for the Ace Attorney franchise. And I kind of hope they do investigations and don't skip to Apollo Justice. Though I can understand why they would skip right to Apollo Justice. Because investigations are much different games. And there's no courtroom. But there's so many great characters and investigations that I feel like a live dub would be really good at that.
Hold it!
I love Susato. Yo, let's go. Let's go. Okay. We got 2. Still need at least 2 more. 3. We're at a dead even lock. Is that all you need, is a dead even lock? No, we need 1 more. Is there anything as pure in Ace Attorney franchise as Suzada doing her fist pump? Because it's so fucking good. So nice. So I need to convince him, maybe? Why is she still not? Well, he needed evidence, right? Aw. Okay, she's talking about the money. He's talking about his fucking tea. I guess I'll press him again?
Hold it!
Okay, now that we've done this, maybe pressing now? Oh no. Oh no. Can I prove it? I don't think I can. I don't think I can? I have supporting testimony? What does that mean? I mean, I guess if I'll try supporting testimony. I can't prove it. It's either it's got to be Soseki or Garudeb, right?
Take that!
Yeah. So who put poison on the gas pipe? Nice. There we go. All right. Throw the bottle. I also appreciate that these games added the auto, the auto advance.
Objection!
Pretty sure it was Soseki.
Take that!
No, you're good. It's all good. I love. She's up there. It's hard. I mean, Maya's really good. Pearls is really good. Trying to think. Athena is fantastic. I think my favorite might actually be what's her name from Investigations, the ninja girl, Yadagarasu. Kay Faraday. Kay, I think, is my favorite right hand, and I think Susato is my second favorite. I am a really big fan of Kay Faraday. She's got a great theme too, and she's just a lot of fun. What's going on, Chard? Yeah, Sham Sphere is Fex, and Very silly. He's a very silly character. I like the silly characters in these games when their facade breaks down, when they get angry. I always find that fun. Also the fact that it's so asymmetrical between the shapes and colors of his jewelry, so it's just such a good... It's a really fitting example of his character. Anyway, welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a great Sunday. I don't normally stream on Sundays, but when Weekend Lawyer requires me to split a case in half, I will normally do Sundays, or we'll do Friday, Saturdays, like next week will be. The cases in Great Ace Attorney 2, according to my research, are pretty lengthy as well. Like, let me see. It's, in my notes, case 2 is 8 hours, case 3 is 12 to 13, case 4 is 9, and case 5 is like 8. There's no real short cases outside of the first case in Ace Attorney 2. They're all pretty long. Normally I can probably do an 8-hour case in one day. It's just a long Saturday when I do them. But anything more than 8 hours, it's like, definitely has to be split into 2.
Objection!
I think... Is the true culprit... Do I have him in the records? Is it really gonna be this guy? Is it Niederman? Did he try to poison him? This guy's dead. Also, that man does not look... What the fuck? You're telling me this man is 23 years old? My man's looking 40. 2-year difference. I call bullshit. Actually, definitely 20. I'm saving. Part of me's thinking like this is the guy who would have checked to see.
Take that!
Okay, never mind. I was wrong.
Take that!
Garradib? No, there's no way Garradib is.
Take that!
Okay, I'm wrong a lot. Who the hell is the true culprit?
Take that!
Are you serious? I didn't see that one coming. I didn't see that one coming. What? The lady who got stabbed in the first case is the one who did this. What?
Take that!
I did not see this coming. I am actually shocked. Yeah, I was gonna say, there's no way. Okay, she was in possession of a bottle of poison. Oh. I feel like this is going to come down to the fact that he killed Duncan Ross, who was Olive Green's boyfriend. Alright, wow, that was the end of that section, that trial. Alright, cool. I am going to take a quick break to grab some water, because I am out of water. And when I come back, we will finish up this trial. Because trial part 2 is the only research I do for these is I know how many parts are in each case. And I know the general idea of how long each case is. That is the only thing I do. Just because it makes it easier for me to plan the streams. But yeah, I will get to some music. I will take a break, like 5 to 7. You'll know when I come back, when the 90 seconds of ads show up. That is your sign that, hey, I'm coming back to stream. I don't like to run ads, but it does help the pre-rolls, disabling them for at least a half hour. So I appreciate it if you stick around through them. Even if you just hit the mute button, then give it a minute and a half. You're not missing anything. It's just a sign that I'm coming back. So it's kind of like a little like, hey, stream's about to start again. But I will get us to some music. There we go. You can sit on Soseki being joyful, jubilant, and jumping jacks. And I will be back in like 5 to 7. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the other side. Alright, I am back. Thank you for your patience. And thank you for sticking through the ads. It just buys me time on the pre-roll, so anybody else comes into the stream, they don't have to sit through ads. It just makes it better for discoverability. I really appreciate it. I don't like doing it, but you know what they say. Sometimes you gotta do things you don't like. But yeah, we are back. I got water, and I am ready to take on the final section of Case 2 of Great Ace Attorney 2. Oh, let's jump into it. I'll put autoplay off for this. I appreciate the fact that they give us autoplay. There he is. Alright, hold on. Look at this. Look at this man. Look how cute my boy looks. The absolute himbo himself. Look at this man. This is too real right now. I relate way too much to this. Do you guys oversleep? Because I do, a lot. Even with 8 alarms. I'm supposed to be at work at like 8:15. I don't get out of bed till like 8. I don't roll until 8:30. I don't care. I'm so bad with that. God, I love Herlock. It's the poison bottle. So there was Strike 9 in that bottle. Interesting. Damn. Damn, Gregson. Huh. Okay, so it's from the file from Selden. Interesting. I want to see that file. 18 counts of burglary, 6 counts of suspected murder, died of natural causes whilst in prison. Covered. Interesting. Huh. Nothing else about it. I love Seki. All right. Bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Good work. Alright, so we're now doing Olive Green. Oh god, he's on the bench with her. I don't know what that word means. Akutarie? Huh. Ha! I mean, she might have. What? I don't think she's the culprit. I don't know. This feels weird. Yeah, it's very similar to Case 2, of course, Case 4 of Great Ace Attorney, where that was also an attempted murder case. And then it turns out it was like a whole accident. It wasn't even like premeditated murder either. She threw a knife at her husband, it went down to shoot, and then slammed into her back. It's really silly. It is also like, I'm trying to remember. Are there any other cases where the victim is not dead? I don't think there's a ton of them. If there are any besides this one and Case 4 of Great Ace. I appreciate that it feels weird though, it's totally different. Richard Graydon. It's hard because I played the original Great Ace Attorney when the fan translation came out, like, what was that, 2 or 3 years ago at this point? So I'm definitely trying to, like, remember a lot of things that I've forgotten. And I'm scared to look up anything in fear of spoilers, because, you know, now these games are kind of tied together as the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. So, like, there's a few things I had to, like, try to remember about Case 4. Because at first I was like, oh, what happened to the maid lady? And then I realized, oh, that's right, she was the one who got arrested and found guilty.
Hold it!
Oh, yeah, Brett's racism, Van Zyke's racism. I've said it before, like, the fact that he says the word Nipponese is clearly the localization for the much harsher words that were used in the fan translation, and I don't know about the original. It is wonderful though that, like, I don't know, we are in a world now that has seen Live Alive or Live Alive, however you pronounce it. We've had that brought to the West for the first time. We've had Trials of Mana, which is known as Seiken Densetsu 3, brought over for the first time. Bet Giselle, British Isles. I did not know that. I did not know that. But I mean, the Crossbell series from the Trails games are getting localized. Maybe if we get lucky, maybe Bahamut Lagoon gets an official localization for the first time in its history. This game got localized. Like, there's a lot of, like, Japanese games that are finally getting the localization they deserve. Especially older games, when you look at, like, the